What's up, everybody? Welcome back to 5 Minute Rants, guys. Welcome back to the AM. So I want to talk about being busy today, and I actually want to define busy. And most people think that they're being productive simply because they're being busy. I was one of those people at one time in my life, and I thought, wow, I'm busy. We're actually really building the company, and we're building the dream, and we're doing the things that we need to do. Nope, not at all, because it turns out that just being busy does not mean you are actually being productive. And here's how I define productivity. Productivity is moving towards the final goal and having momentum or forward movement to accomplishing the vision. That's productivity. Being busy, I could be busy all day long doing dishes and laundry, mowing my grass, right? I could be busy all day long learning a skill set that has nothing to do with entrepreneurship or business. I could be busy all day long looking up all the different types of glue that are made, super glue, gorilla glue, whatever, and learning about them all. And it doesn't move me forward in any way. And so I want to say this: busy without productivity is actually lazy. Most people are lazily busy to where they avoid what actually needs to be done in the company. They avoid what actually needs to be done in their life. And then as a result, they never move forward, but they seem busy. And that's that's actually part of the problem, because you are busy. And so it's very easy to lie to yourself and say, oh, I'm doing something. And I think it's interesting. I was listening to a lecture, and one of the things they were talking about is how most people are not inclined to solve will solve the easier problems first. And if you notice how you work, you normally avoid the work that is most important up front, and we do all the work around it. It's how I've done it. It's how everybody's done it. I don't think I'm abnormal. I think I'm really normal. And I'm saying that because we'll avoid the most important work, and we'll avoid solving the most important problem. And because we avoid solving the most important problem, we don't move forward in the most efficient way. And one of the main goals in my life, and I talked to Andrew about this, is how do we find the constraint? How do we find actually the real problem that's holding everything up, our current constraint? How do we find it, and how do we solve it faster? And how do we move forward faster? And that's it. That is the main goal. How do we find the constraint? How do we solve it and move forward at a faster pace to get things done more efficiently? And I think speed is so important. Speed is so important, but busyness will slow you down. And busyness is oftentimes a distraction, right? A distraction. So for instance, if you're creating social media content, you're looking at all the videos that, hey, this would be a cool idea, this would be a fun idea, all these things like, oh, we can make this, we can make that, but you're not actually doing any of the research needed to see if that's a good niche to be in. Or you are looking at all the different types of content and all the ideas. Oh, we can make this video, this, that. But you haven't actually researched how to actually make a video, what edits you should have, your thumbnails, what works, what doesn't. And so you avoided the planning. And I've talked about this before, how nobody wants to plan, everybody wants to do. And the reason for that is because doing is a lot more fun than planning. And back in my old bad English days, I would say funner. And so that being said, is oftentimes solving the bigger problems that matter and really focusing on the work that matters is a lot more boring than actually doing other things. However, it's a lot more rewarding and fulfilling, especially when you see how it moves you closer towards your goal. Most things in life that are really rewarding are painful and challenging. They're not just easy. And that's one of the reasons why they're rewarding. Think about any hard thing you've done in your life. That is one of the most proudest things one of the most proudest moments in your life that you have. Anything that you talk to people about, you like to share, like, man, I did this. It was really hard. That's predicated on a challenge, right? And then as a result, it was rewarding. And so now, because it was rewarding, you talk about it. It's the same thing in business. It's the same thing in life. Finding the real work, finding the constraint, finding the problem, and then actually moving forward to do that work. And if you want to find the constraint, you need to list out all your problems. Here's all my problems. And then work your way back through each problem. And more often than not, you'll have 3 or 4 problems tie to one issue that needs to be resolved. And you work yourself backwards for that. Anyways, guys, I'm out of time. I'll catch you later. Peace.